What if I told you that the next person to build a $100,000 net worth could be someone with zero business degree, no wealthy family, and literally almost no startup money? I mean, it sounds like a massive stretch, right? For decades, building serious wealth meant you needed huge initial investments, years of grinding up the corporate ladder, or taking on wild amounts of risk. But today, artificial intelligence has completely rewritten those rules. Welcome to this explainer. Over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through a realistic, step-by-step roadmap drawn straight from the latest industry data and expert case studies. We'll show you exactly how someone starting from ground zero can leverage AI to hit that $100,000 milestone.
Okay, let's dive right into this by completely blowing up the single biggest myth out there about money. Most of us think that to become wealthy, you gotta start with money. You don't. If you handed 100 grand to someone who didn't have the right skills, they'd probably end up losing it. But if you give high leverage skills to someone who's flat broke, they can create wealth over and over again. Wealth starts with acquiring skills. Skills create opportunities, and those opportunities create the wealth. And AI? It's the ultimate accelerator for that entire process. To get us to that 100K, we're going to climb a simple, step-by-step wealth staircase in this explainer. We'll start with the money myth, then earning your first $1,000, building AI assets, launching an AI automation agency, and finally, actually keeping and growing that wealth. All right, step 1, the money myth and high-income skills. We're living in this wild era where AI can literally act as your own personal 24/7 mentor. So your very first investment on this journey, it isn't cash, it's knowledge. And the absolute best part is that the barrier to entry is zero. Experts in the space are constantly pointing out that platforms like YouTube are packed with full, entirely free courses on AI agents and automation. Combine that free content with AI models like ChatGPT acting as your private tutor, and there's absolutely no financial excuse not to learn the basics. You just have to be willing to put in the time.
So what exactly should you be typing into that search bar? Well, the fastest path to 100 grand is locking down high-income skills that businesses are practically begging for right now. We're talking prompt engineering, agent system design, workflow automation, AI engineering, and digital marketing. Mastering these specific skills lets you turn raw AI potential into actual, measurable business results, like saving a local company dozens of hours every single week. That is a skill set people will gladly write a check for.
Which brings us to step 2, earning your first $1,000. Look, landing that very first client can definitely feel pretty intimidating. But industry pros often recommend what they call the slow way to get rich. Here is the play. First, learn the fundamentals online. Then, do the gritty, unscalable work by taking on 3 free clients, just to gain experience. Doing this builds up your momentum, gets you solid case studies, and builds massive confidence from absolute zero. Momentum creates confidence, right? And confidence creates growth. Once you've got those successful free projects under your belt, scaling up to paid retainers becomes a totally natural next step.
Now, what's really interesting about this next point is the sheer earning potential once you actually get good at this stuff. Looking at recent data from AI developers, consulting rates for expert prompt engineers are currently skyrocketing into the $200 to $400 an hour range. Seriously. And why is that? Because an expert who can automate hundreds of hours of manual work every month is incredibly valuable. They aren't just typing prompts into a chat box, they're taking a messy business problem and deploying a complete solution.
Okay, step 3. Stop trading your time for money and start building AI assets.
Let's look at the absolute night and day difference between the old manual way of doing things and the new AI-driven way. Say you're building an affiliate marketing blog. The old, manual way means you are stuck researching, writing, formatting, and updating every single post yourself. Exhausting, right? But with Agent Turek workflows, you can set up AI systems that automatically analyze search gaps, format data into neat tables, and even flag old posts for updates. What used to take 10 grueling hours can now be compressed into just 1 hour of human oversight. Manual work limits you. Assets scale. Time doesn't. You essentially get to step in as an AI architect by chaining together specialized AI agents. Think of it like a digital assembly line. You've got an SEO agent hunting down the keywords, which then automatically passes that data to a creative agent to draft the content, and then a social agent picks it up to blast out the promo posts online. It's a completely seamless end-to-end automation engine.
So, you've built these awesome custom workflow bots. how do you actually get paid for them? Well, there are 3 proven pricing models you can offer businesses. You could go with a monthly subscription, like say $249 a month for ongoing work. You could try a pay-per-use model for companies with variable needs. And for the big, highly customized bots, you charge a hefty upfront setup fee followed by a monthly retainer just to maintain it. You see, you're no longer selling your time, you are selling a highly scalable solution.
I absolutely love this quote from a data scientist who built a micro SaaS application, an AI quiz generator for teachers. He said, "It's almost like real estate on the internet that you just bought, and it gives some returns." And he hit the nail on the head. These AI creations act as scalable digital properties. You build the asset once, and aside from a little weekend maintenance, it just keeps generating value in the background.
Moving right along to step 4, scale up and launch an AI automation agency. And this brilliantly illustrates a key point. To crush it with an agency, you absolutely cannot be a generalist. The best niches out there right now are local businesses with super repetitive tasks and high deal sizes. We are talking construction estimating, legal intake for small firms, real estate lead scheduling, and healthcare patient communications. Targeting these specific local sectors is basically a cheat code for agency growth because they have massive budgets and glaring inefficiencies that your AI can instantly fix.
Because you're solving a massive headache for these guys, your pricing can totally reflect the immense value you're bringing to the table. Experts point out that you could literally walk down the street to a local real estate firm, offer to build them a custom AI agent to handle their lead scheduling, and easily land a $5,000 deal. Building it might only take you a couple of days using no-code tools, but to them, it's a game changer for their bottom line. Sell just 20 of those, and boom, you've hit your $100,000 goal.
The playbook for landing these massive agency clients is honestly surprisingly straightforward. 1. Pick a super narrow niche and find a measurable metric to improve. 2. Build a proof of concept automation in 2 weeks flat. 3. Use targeted outreach to close a high-ticket client on a retainer. You don't need a fancy office or venture capital. All you need is a laptop, Wi-Fi, and the hustle to execute the strategy.
Finally, step 5, the final step. Keeping and growing that wealth.
Let's move to and see how this builds long-term. Because building wealth isn't just about making the money, it's about investing it. Check out this wild academic study on AI and wealth management. Looking at cumulative returns over a 5-year stretch, AI-driven portfolio systems actually outperformed traditional human advisors by an average of 2.3%. They processed real-time data way faster and had 15% fewer portfolio drawdowns when the market dipped. AI doesn't panic during a crash, it just optimizes. And the big financial institutions, they are already all over this leverage. Machine learning is currently sitting at a whopping 85% adoption rate in wealth management, mostly for optimizing portfolios. The big players use AI to hyper-personalize strategies and maximize every drop of return. So as you start building your own capital, you can utilize modern AI-driven robo-advisors to put your money to work with that exact same level of precision. Now, to be totally fair, mixing AI and finance definitely comes with its regulatory hurdles. When you look at the compliance costs, ensuring data privacy eats up about 35% of the budget, and algorithm auditing takes up another 25%. These algorithms have to navigate some incredibly complex global data protection laws to ensure everything is secure, so it's a heavily regulated space for very good reason.
So the crucial point is this. The final step to locking in that $100,000 net worth is treating your capital strategically. Earning the money through high-income skills, micro SaaS, or your agency is really just the beginning. Once you have the cash, every single dollar needs a job. Utilizing AI's analytical power lets you keep your costs low and efficiently compound your money over the long haul.
All right, we have climbed the entire wealth staircase today. We've seen how AI acts as your free 24/7 tutor, how prompt engineering can command hundreds of dollars an hour, how to build scalable workflow bots, how to close $5,000 agency deals, and even how algorithmic portfolio management is outperforming human advisors. The old gatekeepers, they're gone. The whole roadmap is right here in front of you. So I'll leave you with this. Knowing what you know now, what is the very first step you're going to take today? Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time.